You are here for some reality and truth about the market, and I'm going to give you that. Look at that weekly close which we just got. Whether it's in XRP or it's in Ether or it's the guide of the market, Bitcoin, we have a huge difference. Say this is Bitcoin. It's pushing to the downside, but it is not about to cross to the downside. Because when you get across to the downside, as you can see, the downside is substantial in price. So when MACD crosses to the downside, it kind of gives you a shaky part of the market. Now we go look at Ether. It does show you the downside cross came in, a rejection came in. Now what about XRP? That's the troubling part. Are we going to cross to the downside? Because this question is relevant. If you look at the history of XRP, you will get to see some higher correlation. We'll break that down here. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Very few assets in the market is starting to respond positively, but the entire market is showing you some relief. Those who were focused on the opportunities were looking at these kind of moves. Whether it's asset 1, whether it's asset 2, you already had the market talking about that. And the SI family was well aware of that. Now, if you jump onto the price action, say XRP, yeah, it is trying to cross to the downside. That is where a lot of questions come from. But guys, remember, when you have a tilt, which is a breakout in the RSI, the market is tilting towards the upside. Now the MACD is showing no, I don't agree. But if you look at this, you got a cross back to the upside, which was bullish in July 2022. Then, after a while, the MACD started crossing to the downside. So that's Jan 2, 2023. But then immediately bounced back up. Fine. So XRP kind of does that every now and then. It showed another time that it is about to cross to the downside, which was July 2023. And right now it's arguing, I'm about to cross to the downside. But what signals are in common? It bounced off immediately. All of these times when it bounced off immediately, if you look at the RSI, it's been giving you positive signs. Whether it's here, that was a breakout. Great. Fine. Whether it's here, it was leading through that long-term trend line, bouncing off from that. So one way or the other, the market was giving you positive signs. Now, what exactly are we looking at in XRP? On a weekly chart, XRP gives you the idea. I'm staying above the moving average. I'm happy. 3-day chart shows you the moving average is pointing you to the upside. That's good. Daily shows I'm getting saturated. I'm slowing down, which for me means there is a trap formation here. Remember, trap, which means you'll bounce back to the upside, testing this range, and then go back. Now, if you do make that 0.49 as a base, that's good, that's great, that is perfect. Because at that point, you will join whatever Bitcoin and Ether is doing. Look at the stock market. Dow Jones has been down 400 points on Friday. Nasdaq has been down 500 points. Now, it's not just down 500 points, it just put in a lower high. Now, can it put a lower low? If it does, it's scary. But long-term trend line for Nasdaq is here. So maybe we are going to bounce off. But no speculation on that end. You'll have to watch the price action and see what it's doing. Why? because your trend line in the RSI, which is acting as a support, is getting smashed. That's not a positive signal for the stock markets. Now we come back to the crypto. It's a different story here. Ether is starting to show you that it is printing bullish divergence. It is printing a possible double bottom. You zoom in as much as you want. But I'll say stick to a daily to get maximum noise of the market and still get reliable data. So based on the price structure, we should argue that the micro reversal, yeah, it's in form, but watch for this kind of a reversal. So the short term does give you the idea it's going to do a rounded bottom or a double bottom. But within that, you may see these kind of micro moves. So that's Ether. Now we jump on to the Bitcoin side of the equation. There are multiple angles to look at this, but we'll give all of that here. This is the first weekly close below this panic range of July 2024. So now you broke below that on a daily and a weekly. Not positive, not positive. If you are just a support resistance guy, not positive. Now you go into the trend part of this to understand what the whales are doing. Because believe me, they'll not make this journey easy for you. They'll try to make this as difficult as possible. And a part of that is this. Yes, the price action shows you it's going down. But then you'll have to go into the weeds of this. To do this or to show you and me that we are going down, how much whales came in? The volume was a bit bigger than the last week. In selling, I agree. Both of them selling. But you look at the price action. The last weekly candle closed with a downside of 5% negative. This week, with higher selling volume, the price closed at 2.38% in negative. So yes, sellers did come into the picture, but they failed to push the price with higher momentum to the downside. Because if you're watching soldiers, the three soldiers, that's a different story. Here you're not watching that. You're watching someone coming in to buy all of these units which are being sold into the markets. Now that's where you need the macro perspective. You'll have to go on to a monthly chart or at least a weekly chart. So on a monthly, this is what you're watching. You still live inside a macro bull flag. You didn't break that to the downside. Good. That's perfect. Now we go into a weekly chart so that we understand, are we violating that rule? As of now, we are not. You're going into the trend line part of things. You already saw that we broke to the downside. We retested that. We got rejected. Great. Now, on a monthly, if you take the same perspective, you'll have to lay this down, say with the trend line forming like this, where we're trying to break to the downside, but we don't have a close to the downside. The monthly close still has another 3 weeks to go, but remember this. The MACD never crossed to the downside directly without any bounce in between on a monthly chart. Or the RSI never went down into a bear market without giving you a divergence. Never in the history of Bitcoin. So that being said, if you pick all of that information back into the altcoin market to see different alts, because there are multiple assets. This is one of them, showing you I'm bouncing back high. Yeah, it's a positive news. It came back above a baseline which was acting as a resistance. It then broke a micro bull flag, which is again positive. But what majority miss would be what should I look for? that comes here. Yeah, for sure. If you're participating in the market, this was a short-term opportunity. The SI family was well aware of this. We posted everything here. In the library, you'll see hundreds of opportunities. You will see us calling through this. And after that, it is already up 30%. The price is going up. You'll see all of these. Say hello, opportunity. We are now slowly bouncing up 30% for the week. So the opportunity calls, the breakouts, the total targets, everything in the SI family gives you the edge. You want to participate? Use the link in the description below. And when you reach there, make sure you want to try these out. You go back. You check a year back. You check a couple of years back. And just look at these assets, the charts. Or say you want to test a couple of them. You just buy one chart which you think is an opportunity posted there. And if you think, okay, that hasn't played out yet or that's just starting, I can use it, try that. In a month or two, you'll understand which group in the crypto market will lead you in the correct direction. So if you believe Scientific Investor family is a part of that, join them. Now, if you receive value, smash that like button for me, guys. And now, before we close this, let me take you into the side of the market, which is the altcoin market. Because when you do take it, there's a lot of volatility. But one thing is clear inside this volatility. What is that? The price made a lower low. The RSI is trending to the upside. RSI still maintains that trend. So the bullish divergence came into the picture. Great. Now it is holding on. And it's not only that, this support zone is active. Good. Now, all of that comes inside this bull flag. Can we bounce off from here? And if we do, the equation is about to be neutralized. Bitcoin is about to give some cash flow, or the new money focusing on the crypto market is about to give more capital inflow to the altcoin market. And that's exactly what you're watching here. And it's not just about a 3-day candle showing you this, but it's also about an Adam and Eve inverse. So an inverse, Adam and Eve coming into the picture, showing you I can go down. A weekly structure showing you evening star. Usually these are reversal signals. So on a weekly you have something. On a 3-day you have something. Then you go on a daily to notice the fact. Why? Right? And you're like, okay, that's a pattern I would have watched before entering all these opportunities. And it shows you clearly that I was kind of trending to the upside, but then immediately broke back to the downside. Daily, 3-day, weekly, all of them starting to give you an idea that it's about to break lower on Bitcoin dominance, while the altcoin market says I'm about to bounce back higher. So watch and join. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.